He just stuck out his polearm, and then Kanujan was like, oh, let me just run into that real quick. Yeah. Oh, and then I got... Oh, okay. Yeah, we're gonna need to... Hello and welcome back to our Duelist adventures. You can see here that this fellow and his comrades have a rather silly expression on their face, and that's the reason why I wanted to show you that. But anyway, this is another member of the Desert Cult, and I think we will probably have a reasonable time against them, because of course we have seen that they are not exactly the most powerful units ever, but they have some good combat strength, and they are indeed outnumbered by about 70 or so units, so that's pretty significant. So if the tables were turned and we were, you know, on an even level with them potentially, or even outnumbered by them, how would the combat strength look then? It would look very, very similar to what they have here potentially, but who knows? We'll see. Obviously, it depends on the tier of your units, the quality, and so on, but we'll see what happens. I love fighting in the dunes, by the way. I don't know how many times I've mentioned that, but I do very much appreciate fighting in the desert. I think it is a wonderful spectacle to see. And let's see where my okay, so the enemy is actually just standing. Oh, they're in a circular formation. Okay. Well, that is to be expected, of course, isn't it? Alright, let's move our forces into a nice little heightened position here, and we'll see what we can do. They have two groups of cavalry, shouldn't be too bad. Let's move my archers over here. We're going to put them into a loose formation as we normally do. My archers are actually very, very fast by the looks of things. They seem to be pretty swift at getting across the dunes here. I'm wondering whether it's just forested area where units tend to be quite slow, but there you go. We got shot in the left arm. Not a big fan of that, thank you, but, well, we're probably not going to be using that too much. Did I just get shot in the... Ow! That's gotta hurt. That has gotta hurt. Getting shot in the hand. Ooh, I don't know whether you've ever had, like, blood taken from your hand or anything like that, but it is very painful in comparison to other places, so, yeah. Probably, not the best time for Bruce he's having right here. Ow. Got shot in the other... Did they... They really just shot him in the other hand, didn't they? I think they did. It's... I should rename myself... I'm Mr. Arrowhand now, apparently. Because, yeah, that's exactly what is happening. Look at this! You couldn't write it, could you? You couldn't write it, literally. They just went so crazy. Oh dear. Well, I've gotten myself into a bit of a situation here, so this might be problematic, but hopefully my mace... Yeah, there we go. My mace will see to it to bludgeon them into the next life. Thank you very much. Goodbye. There we are. That's exactly what we like to see. Now, thankfully, we only lost... How many? 1? 3, okay, so that's actually not too bad. Did we lose anyone good? We lost a town guard. Ah, we lost a Roman gladiator. That's actually kind of sad. I'm not entirely sure why we lost that. Probably because they shot him. That was probably the reason. But anyway, I'm gonna try and catch these guys. Yeah, there we go. Get him dead. Get him dead. Alright, so we do have 225 experience every single time we attack with our one-handed by the looks of things. Yeah, around 200, so that's pretty good. And that is indeed a victory for us. And there we go. Alright, so how much did we get? Okay, we got 7 renown, 7 influence actually, and 4.1 morale. Pretty good, pretty good. Alright, so I am not sure whether I think I'm still going to let these guys go, because as I've said before, I feel like it is probably a decent idea to sort of keep these guys coming out with all of their, well, all of their relatively weak armies, so that we can just do that much more damage to them and capture just that much more of them. That makes all the sense in the world, in my opinion. Anyway, we're going to take some desert marksmen potentially right here, are we? I mean, do they have good stats? I think they do, yeah. As you can see, they have 165 in bows, which is pretty nice. And what about the Desert Coltsmen? They're doing all right as well? Yeah, they're all right. I mean, they're cavalry, so we might as well take them too. And what about the Desert Warriors? Well, they become Desert Cultsmen, but at the moment they're not that good. And I don't really want to run around with a massive contingent of prisoners. I will be taking the Aserai slaves and the Imperial slaves and the Aserai peasants because they all level up into regular Aserai and Imperial units. So that makes all the sense, in my opinion. And otherwise, is there anything else here that I really want to do? No. Alright. So that is absolutely fine. Anyway, I did notice another vassal over here from the Desert Cult, but I can assume that they are going to be way, way too fast for me. Yeah, there they are. I mean, they're moving at 5.8. I'm moving at 4.8. There's no way, not in a million years, that I'll be able to catch up to that, which is unfortunate. Yeah, that is definitely unfortunate. Now, what I'm actually planning on doing is I will be ending our party's existence. I know that seems very permanent, but no, I will be just disbanding them for a real quick second. And we're going to do that right now, actually. So let me just go to the army screen real fast. And we will manage it. Let's disband the army. There we go. And then we'll go to our party screen. And we'll disband that. It merges into a near clan party or goes to the nearest map faction settlement. Okay, yeah, that's absolutely fine. And we're just going to speak to him. Oh. Okay, join me. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so he actually ended up joining me. That's fantastic. That is exactly what we wanted to do. And wait a minute, where is he? Ah, there he is. Alright, so this gives me a good opportunity to now gear him out a little bit. So we're going to go to his inventory and we're going to give him some cool stuff because obviously he has basically nothing. And I was a bit cruel to really send him out with basically nothing equipped. But I wasn't really expecting for him to be that useful, so I kind of just thought, hey, you know what, let's just send him out, see what he can do, and if he can do stuff, then that's great, but if he gets captured or indeed gets killed, then I won't have wasted any of my resources in doing that. His main function was to give me leadership skill, of course. That was the main point for me to, get him... get him a party and so on and so forth. But does he have any bow skill? I actually don't know whether he has any bow skill, so I think I'm probably just going to give him a polearm, maybe? I actually don't know. Let me take a quick look. He has polearm skill, yes. He has more polearm skill than basically anything else. He doesn't have anything in bows, although he does have focus points in bows, so he could level it up, potentially. Which might make sense. But then we would have to choose between a polearm and a one-handed and a shield, and I personally prefer giving him a polearm at this point. I feel like that's going to be much, much better for him. Let's give him a Khuzait light lance and then compare with the varieties of other things that we can give him here. What about a Mamluk lance? I think that sounds much better because the Mamluk lance is going to be couchable, as you can see right there. We're going to give him a good horse as well, so... He's, I don't even know what his culture is, but I'm going to give him a steppe warhorse, and then we'll just give him the Imperial Barding. But yeah, this is the point. This guy is literally now wearing about 500,000 worth of gold on his person right now, which is significant, to say the least. So that's the reason why I was a little bit dubious to give him some stuff. But now he has some stuff, and that's all very well and good. And now I can create a party once again. And we will indeed give him all of his units back. These are the units, I believe. Yep, so we're just going to do this. There we go. We'll give him some Imperial slaves as well because we want to try and give him more units. Oh yeah, some of his units actually did merge into mine, which is a bit problematic because now I have no idea what he has taken and what he hasn't. So we're just going to give him 5 from some of the other places right here. And let's give him a couple of these, I don't want to give him too many, you see, because otherwise it's going to be kind of disappointing when he does eventually get murdered, which is probably going to happen quite soon. But anyway, let's where is he? Oh, I can't call for him just yet. It seems like I need to, yeah, there we go. I need to just wait for him to appear on the map, and then we can I not do that? Why is he not available? Oh, there he is. Oh, weird. I'm not entirely sure why he was all the way at the bottom there, but okay. Well, that's good. That's fine. Alright, so let's just go in here real quick because I'd like to recruit more troops, you know, anytime. Oh, actually, we've got 133 out of 139. I was not anticipating that. Alright, so we've entered a tournament once again, and the tournament prize is a slap sword, if you can believe it. Yes. Obviously, this is still the same save that I created before the developers fixed that issue where your own crafted items can turn up as tournament prizes. Anyway, we're going to skip forward here and take a look at who our opponents are. User is going to be attacking us. Okay, we probably want to be a bit careful of him, but pretty sure. Look at my... Do you see my movement speed right now? My movement speed is insane. It's all due to that new skill that we just gained, where if you don't have a shield or a ranged weapon, your movement speed is dramatically increased. Oh, that was easy. That was a lot easier than anticipated, that's for sure. I feel like tournaments now are pretty... yeah, should I jinx myself? Probably not, but let's just say that they're very difficult. They are extremely difficult right now because obviously, initially when you first start off playing the game with a new character, you are, well, you're not doing very well on the skills, you know? Your skills are going to not very easily pay the bills. However, as time goes on in the game and as you progress your character and level it up a little bit further and faster and harder and better and faster and stronger, you know, all that, then you start to become powerful. You start to become as powerful as the other, you know, relatively high tier units that you're going to be facing quite often. In other words, other vassals, other high tier units, and so on and so forth. So generally, it's pretty cool, actually. It's a nice sort of yardstick, I guess you could call it, you know, because it kind of gives you an overview, or shall we say, more of a summary of how you have progressed in the game and how your character's currently doing. Because, of course, if you remember, the first few tournaments that I did, I was, well, let's just suffice it to say, having harsh problems every single round. Huge problems. And it was actually quite a nice thing. Oh dear. I'm actually up against my, I geared him in some really good stuff. This is gonna be bad. Let's go for the head. The head is his weak spot. Or we could just, well, thrust at him a little bit. But yes. Anyway, the point is, it's a very cool thing to see. I mean, that usually happens in RPGs as well, where you start off really weak, and you're level 1, and you've got, you know, I don't know, 10 in air magic or fire magic or something, and then eventually you have 100 in that skill, and then you think to yourself, oh, look at me, I can do massive damage, and so on. You know, it really makes a huge difference to the overall feeling of progression, and I think that really is a wonderful satisfaction that you get from that. And I'm definitely feeling that right now, especially considering I can win these tournaments while commentating not too badly. I mean, I'm not really having to concentrate too much, because with that increased movement speed, I realize I actually have an additional focus point here, so I should probably spend that. But this movement speed, wait a minute. Where was it again? Where was it again? Was it in athletics? Yes, indeed, athletics. Look at that. No shields, no ranged weapons, 10% faster movement. What an insane skill that is. Really cool. All right. Ooh. All right, here we go. Walk it off. That is what I'm going to be taking. Increases heal rate by 15% when mobile in the world map, but also it recovers 10 HP lost after each offensive battle. Now, if you take both of these, Preventative Medicine and Walk It Off, you are just going to be so incredibly healthy. You're going to be able to do pretty much every single battle that you come across. Now, don't get me wrong, Triage Tent is very good. Not for the siege reduction in food consumption, because that being reduced by 5% is the most minuscule bonus ever, and I think that that is terrible. But increasing heal rate by 30%, that's fantastic. That's really, really good. So I think that that's really nice, but this needs to be changed. This value needs to be changed. I personally feel like this should be 20% or something like that, but, you know, who cares, really? I mean, the main reason why you take this is for the 30% heal rate anyway, but I will be taking Walk It Off specifically, and I think I'm actually going to be speccing into... What should I spec into, actually? This is a bit problematic. Maybe I should spec into some more leadership, because it's taking quite a while for us to level up, and I do want to get to Veterans Respect, which is just about here, so I guess that's alright. I guess that's fine. Alright, so I was actually on my way to Batanian territory, because no doubt you've already noticed that we are at war against them, which is actually hilarious, because I was just a mercenary of theirs, and now we are going to be fighting them, so that, that's a little bit scary, actually, because the Batanians were very, shall we say, intimidating, and I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do about that, but there you go. Leadership has now advanced to level 50, and we are now going to see what we can do. 8 morale at the beginning of the battle when you're defending, 4 morale at the beginning of the battle when you're attacking, but they also do separate secondary effects. The secondary effect of this one, double the rate of recruiting 1 to 2 to 3 tier prisoners, and the other one is double the rate of recruiting for tier 4, 5, and 6. Well, I'm probably going to be taking Fervent Attacker, because generally I tend to attack more than I tend to defend, and I think there was a previous version of that particular skill that I would always take the defensive option, because the defensive option always would give you, in my opinion at least, would give you much more of a benefit. But in this case, because they've outlined the specific values of morale that you're going to be gaining in certain situations, in my opinion, it seems much better to take the offensive one, because more than likely you're going to be attacking. You're going to be attacking pretty much all the time, unless you're running away from something. And if you're running away, hopefully, cross fingers, you have enough athletics or riding skill to be able to escape. But anyway, let's see if we could fight these guys. And how fast are they actually traveling? Are you serious? They're traveling at 5.5? Are you serious right now? I actually bought some additional horses, by the way. Oh, my prisoners are slowing me down quite considerably. Is there anything I can do about that? I mean, I'm maxed out, as you can see right here. I am completely maxed out, so that is unfortunate. I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to do about that. I did buy some war horses as well, by the way, so I should be able to start raising up a couple of extra high-tier cavalry. And unfortunately, I can't recruit any of these guys. Oh, I can actually let these. I can let these looters go. I don't really want the looters. Thank you very much. And is there anything else here that I don't really want? No, I want all of these. So that's unfortunate. I don't think I'm going to be able to... Oh, wait. Here we go. Perfect. Here we are. He has trapped himself. This is an absolutely fantastic situation. Wow. I feel like they've changed this. Haven't they changed the environment here? Because I'm sure this ridge was not here before. I'm pretty sure you could go in to this small area of the village through any area along this pathway here, but apparently they've maybe changed it, or maybe I just didn't notice. But whatever the case, we are now going to be the attacker in this particular fight, and we're gonna gain aren't we gonna gain 10 HP or something like that? Oh dear, did you see that? Are you seeing that right now, the slowdown? No, maybe not. I had a bit of a frame rate slowdown when we went into the battle, and that tends to happen against Batania-focused units, but I don't think these guys are actually from Batania, so Not entirely sure what's going on there. They are added by the Calradiant War mod, so it could just be that their armor has significantly more detail than you would otherwise normally find. So we'll see what happens with that. But as you can see, they have primarily... Do they only have infantry? Wow, if they only have infantry, I can see why they were running away. This is going to be pretty bad for them. Alright, well, let's move on, shall we? Let's go and try and see if we can take them down. I've got to be a bit careful here, because while they only have infantry, or while it says that they only have infantry, they probably do have some kind of ranged capability. So we should be a bit cautious about that. But it's more than likely that they're not going to be that accurate, are they? Are they going to be that accurate? I didn't even look at his composition before I headed in here. I was that supremely confident. Probably not the best idea, is it? Alright, let's go for loose formation, thank you. And we'll see what we can do. I really want to get in there, to be honest. I really want to get in there as much as I possibly can. Whoa, that's a massive two-handed... Okay, yeah, you can't really do much to me, sir. Ah, I'm hitting the environment. Oh, are you serious? Oh no, now they're running. Ah. Okay, I'm not going to get any opportunity to attack here. At least a little bit. These guys are naked. Oh, Azerai slaves. Oh, I feel bad about killing these, actually. You know what? Maybe I should just... You know what? I'm going to just use my mace. Because it is not actually killing them then. Even though it is going to be painful. Oh no. Take him down. Yes. Oh, look, we're almost at 150. Oh, we're almost at 150. Okay, I'm going to try to get a little bit more experience here. Oh, the sound. Ah. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to let this slave guy go. I mean, I feel bad. I feel bad about it. All right. Can't retreat. There are enemies nearby. They need to fix that as well. Anyway. Let's go and hopefully find a Batanian vassal. I'm very much hoping that they're going to be nearby. I don't really want to take any more prisoners, although they have a huge amount of Azerai slaves, which would make a great deal of sense for me to rescue them. Well, technically not rescue, but take them prisoner and then, you know, convert them to our side. Did we lose anyone in that battle? Yes, we lost 2 units, so I suppose we can replace them with some people over here. But it's going to be very difficult. I'm just going to leave the rest of those prisoners. Don't think I can really spare the speed at this point. Because if, and this is a pretty big if, there is a big army nearby, and then there's a smaller party, that smaller party will more than likely be able to intercept me and get me into a battle with that large army, and then we're going to have some issues. But hopefully most people will not be faster than I am. Like, for example, this guy's fast, I think, only because he has a huge amount of cavalry. I think that's probably the reason. Because if you have primarily cavalry, you're going to be running around extremely fast on the world map, as we know from the Khuzait Khanate series, where we used primarily horse archer and mounted units. It was very nice. We were running around at literally like, I seem to remember that the fastest we were moving around was like 7 or something like that, or 6.8. I don't even know. I can't remember now. But it was very, very quick. So if you want to move around fast on the world map, get yourself mounted units. Oh, I've got to be a bit careful here. Okay, just aim downwards, there we go. That is all we needed to do. All we need to do against those cavalry, because they only have spears. As I've said before, I am very bad at blocking against units that have a one-handed on horseback. Can't usually tell where they're going to attack, that's the thing. The angle of their attack is always unknown to me until the very end. Attack! Oh yes! I'm using my sword here mainly because I don't really want any prisoners, and even though I personally find the mace to be much more enjoyable to use, I kind of feel like the reach is going to be somewhat important here. Okay, I'm going to tell my infantry to charge in, even though it's probably unlikely that they'll be needed, but it's just in case. Yep, exactly. No problem at all. No problem. Alright, I think we've got a pretty decent army here. I think we have a pretty decent army. I think it is probably going to be able to beat some larger vassals. I don't know where those larger vassals are, though. That is the main issue I'm having right now. I'm looking for them. Maybe, oh, you know what? You know what I'm going to do now? I'm actually going to try a siege. Alright. Now, this is obviously something that I am not particularly confident on, especially considering I don't have a shield. And I did say earlier in the series that I may use a shield in a siege if I felt it was necessary. But, at the moment, I personally don't think it's necessary. I could be completely cursing myself right here and thinking that I am much more powerful than I actually am. I mean, let's face it, if I do get shot in the face, then that is definitely going to make a big problem for us. You know, that is going to do massive damage. Alia has been captured. Again? Alia has been taken prisoner by the Khuzait. The Khuzait has declared war on the Southern Empire. Right. I'm not a big fan of that, thank you. So I will be making my way over as soon as I possibly can. I need to make sure that I don't run into any people here that can completely murder us, because let's face it, large armies will be itching to get into a fight with us. That is for sure. Anyway, let's see where they have... Okay, let's have a look. Where is Samira Castle? Yeah, we know where Samira Castle is. It's all the way over there, right? But why is my sister and indeed brother, I think they're both... Aren't they both captured? Let me actually just have a look. So, Bruce and... Right, so Alia, she is last seen at Samira Castle. She has indeed been taken prisoner. Again. And I'm not entirely sure why that would be the case. Ah, he hasn't, though. The brother has not been taken prisoner, so I'm not sure where he is in comparison to her. Because as far as I'm aware, they usually travel together as much as they possibly can. But oh well, never mind. Okay, so Rote is now going to be besieged, I assume? Isn't it? There's a big army running by there. Wolfskins have joined Southern Empire. Okay, that's good to know. I'm a bit perplexed by this whole thing, to be honest. But I suppose the best thing that we can do is run some interference. Oh, okay. So we're going to be making peace with Britannia. All right, I'm pretty happy to do that. So let's just, you know, spend a little bit of influence to gain some steward skill and gain a little bit of relation with Mr. Turiodos. I don't think I actually gained any relation with him at all, to be honest. I think that kind of influence cost that I'm spending there is just way too little, I think, to really have any kind of impact. But here's the large Britannian army, by the way, that was besieging Shinopsis Castle. Is there any other opponent that I might be able to... Aha! Hello there. This is looking pretty good. Alright, let's do this. Alright, so the AI has taken up a very, very good position in the trees here. They do tend to do that quite often on this particular map when we spawn on this side of it. So this is going to be a bit problematic, to say the least. But we'll try our best. We'll try our best. Let's get our infantry to move up here. I'm going to have to put them into a shield wall formation. I don't really want them to get murdered too easily as they go into the trees here, because this does give the enemy a pretty significant advantage. I'm going to run in now. Yeah, get him. Let's do this. I've timed my attack at the exact time that my cavalry is actually coming in as well, so that I do have a little bit of cover here. This guy's really not doing any damage to me whatsoever. Melee damage just does nothing to me as long as they don't hit me with a thrust attack or blunt weapon or hit me on the head or I fall off a wall or any number of other reasons why I might die. But I seem to be doing alright so far. Let's tell my infantry to charge in now as well to sort of back us up a little bit just in case we need it, but I don't think I will. Whoa, that was cool. That was really, really nice. Did you see that? I hit the guy basically like on his leg, on the side of his leg, and he actually felt the impact of it as he got knocked out. And his ragdoll obviously, you know, acted in that way, which was very cool. I like it. I talked about that in a previous episode already, so I'm not going to go over it again, but I think that the way that they've done the dynamic ragdoll effects. It's very, very cool. Come on now. Get him. Ah, almost, almost. Never mind. Alright, there you go. So we did end up losing quite a few units, but I think most of them were relatively low tier, so nothing really to worry about. Yes, indeed. They do need to fix that, in my opinion. I think as soon as you have declared victory by pressing tab at the end of a battle, I don't think you should have the warning that comes up when enemies are nearby to you. I think that makes no sense. But anyway, there you go. Done. Very nicely, in fact. And do I want to take any more prisoners? That's the thing. I'm currently at maximum, pretty much. So if I were to take any more prisoners right here, it would just slow me down in the overall. But I kind of feel like this is a waste not to take the tier 4. So I will take the tier 4 units. And maybe I'll get rid of some of the tier 2s from my prisoner's hold. The Desert Immortal can also go, because I can't recruit him. And the Desert Range, I kind of want the Desert Rangers, because I think they'll level up into something fun. The Desert Recruits can go, but we'll leave the Desert Warriors and the Rangers and so on. And that will be that. Alright. It's a little bit, a bit of a bone of contention there for me, because I very much would like to sort of keep them as much as possible, but it's very difficult for me to do that in the current climate, especially considering I'm going into enemy territory in just a second, so yeah. Anyway, the best thing we can do right now is eliminate as many vassals as possible, try to get our people leveled up as fast as possible too, and I don't even know what kind of army this guy has now. Does he have anything really good? Is he actually even leveling them up? Yeah, I think he is leveling them up. Maybe. Not too sure about that. Aha! Hello, Khuzait. I will be murdering you soon. Don't worry about it. Okay, so it seems like we do have a vassal that is on the run. Kanojan is going over here. Bear in mind that the Khuzait are going to be very difficult for me to catch because they have, you guessed it, pretty much only cavalry armies. So that is very problematic. And Alia has thankfully escaped from her place of captivity. Oh! Wait a minute. Come on. No, go to the left. Go to the left. No? He doesn't want to go to the left? Ah. Oh, well, never mind. Yeah, seems like he is going to be way too fast for me. He's literally moving at almost 1.0 faster than I am, so there's no way I'll be able to catch him, unfortunately, especially with an army this size. I think I might be able to catch him if I get rid of my little party here, but I don't really want to do that for obvious reasons, you know. Having leadership skill level up while I'm running around here is absolutely paramount right now. Aha! Hello, Kanojan. You've made a mistake, sir. Yes, indeed. We will be going in against him. Alright, so this is actually going to give us a really good opportunity to test out a couple of things. So in other words, I want to try and see how much damage the horse archers are capable of against my current armor setup, because this will give me an idea as to how much damage I might indeed take in a siege situation, because of course they're not going to be on their horses, but they're going to be behind the walls, and that's basically about the same kind of thing that you'd expect, because let's face it, they are... As you can see, I got shot in the neck almost immediately. That was very accurate. Ow. Yes, a little bit too accurate for my liking, but look at that guy. He murdered Kanojan. This guy is the hero of this particular battle. Did you see that? He murdered him. He just stuck out his polearm, and then Kanojan was like, oh, let me just run into that real quick. Yeah. Oh, and then I got... Oh, okay. Yeah, we're gonna need to... run back. Well, auto-delegate, do your thing. Yes. Not a big fan of that, gotta say. Not a big fan of that, but I did say that I wanted to test out my my capabilities, and as you could no doubt tell, in previous battles we fought the Northern Empire, the Southern Empire, the Aserai, and the varieties of other factions, and I think we fought the Khuzait maybe once before, but not on this scale. And as a result, they have now shown us exactly what they're capable of. Their Khuzait Lancers, they just have couch. You know? They just have couch. And I'm surprised they don't have 50% off, to be honest. That's a reference to furniture stores that usually have sales on all the time. You know, that's the joke. I don't even need to explain it. You get it, right? Yeah, I'm sure you get it. All right. Anyway, the point is, that was pretty bad. That was actually pretty bad, and I was not expecting to get eliminated so soon, but I think my main issue was literally just running out by myself, and I'm not used to it. I'm not used to fighting against only cavalry armies, so I need to be more conservative in that aspect. I need to just hold back a little bit, be a bit more cautious, and then go on from there. So that's good to know. I am actually going to be taking... Canujon beg? I think that's a bug. Don't think that it's meant to say beg. I think that's the command that they use to determine the guy basically saying, "Would you let me go?" You know, sort of thing. But I'm actually going to be should I take him prisoner or should I let him go? See, now here's the thing. Personal growth equals letting him go, but overall faction strength is taking him prisoner. Do I care about the Southern Empire's faction strength? Not particularly. So I guess I will be letting him go, because you can see here I literally gained 1,600 experience in Charm. Just purely for the fact that he is indeed a major vassal. So that is the reason. Anyway, seems like we have a slight problem here. I will have to get rid of this Imperial Infantry and a couple of these Azerite tribesmen. And I said that I wouldn't be using any Khuzait units, so I won't be taking any of them, but I will be taking some prisoners from other places, just in case they want to join me at some time. And what else do we have going on here? We've got some shoulders. Yeah, not much else. Alright, that is perfectly fine. Okay, so next time, we're probably going to be attempting to take Phykeon, because you can see here, it only has 200 in the garrison, and I'm very much intrigued as to whether we'll be able to do it. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, then please leave a like, and otherwise, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.